2012 was a year of great successes and new heroes have risen. But what will happen in 2013 in the Enduro World Championship? Let's find out.
I have all the medals now, the silver, the bronze, so for sure the gold is what I want.
We know that getting a title is difficult, but to confirm it is even harder. With my trainer, we did a good job this winter. I think I'm ready. We have trained really hard and we worked really well with the bike, and I can say I'm in good shape.
Well, same as every year, last 10 years, you know, like I don't have any options, you know, if I try to win and win and win, so I can't put the target to be top 3 because I've been in the top and I'm still feeling that I'm fast and competitive, so it's only a target is to be the winner.
Welcome to the Enduro World Championship highlights. What is new in the world of EWC? We're here to tell you all. A duel is declared in E1, but who will be the main man, Antoine Mayo or Juha Salminen? In E3 category, we have Christophe Namatin back, but will he remain on the top of the world? Knight, Cervantes, René, Aubert, 11 world titles between them, but only one can win. Who will take the lead in E2? And of course, the juniors. All the news. Let's go for it. The 26 minutes of dirt and action. This is the Enduro World Championship highlights. The first round of the World Championship is in Chile, Talca. Chile is one of the most incredible places on earth. Its geography, its people, its culture. 3 hours by car from the capital Santiago, Talca is a city of 200,000 inhabitants. It's also been rebuilt twice, in 1928 and more recently in 2010 because of frequent earthquakes that shake the ground and also shook the championship last year. This is the location for some of the best wines produced in the whole of Southern America. Friday evening and the KTM Super Test. More than 6,000 passionate fans came to Regional Gymnasium of Talca to see the great show offered by the 124 riders of EWC.
You're so powerful.
As you know, the Super Test doesn't have a hugely important effect on the final result, but is a great opportunity to show your opponents what you're made of. And it was Johnny Aubert who was the man of the evening, bringing home the first victory on his KTM 450. Johnny setting a massively fast time of 2 minutes and 5 seconds. Among the categories, the one that is going to be the most competitive will surely be E2. Pella, the reigning champion, is back, but with some determined ambitions. After I had the title in 2012, my goal to be champion again in 2013 is real. I know it won't be easy, I have trained for this, and I really think I'm ready too. Pella knows that the fight will be very tough, with great riders such as Johnny Aubert and Ivan Cervantes, who will be back with the KTM brand. David Knight will be up for the fight with his brand new Honda after a strong Super Enduro season in the winter. And Alex Salvini could also be a contender. E3 class will also be very close. Every rider has prepared in his own way and everyone fears each other. But the early season confidence is there for some, but not all.
the last year Nambutin is gonna be really fast. Leok will be fast, difficult guys to beat. But yeah, also some new guys like Louis Correa, Fabian Planet, and yeah, Tarikala is there also. And yeah, it will be tough for sure. But I think I'm ready. I've been training good and feel good. So yeah.
The reigning champion doesn't share the same confidence, but as we know, Christophe Namata will surely be up for the fight. I've been training well, but I just had a small crash at the end of my preparation, and it stopped me for about 2 or 3 weeks just before coming here. I feel good, and I hope that I will be at 100% this weekend. In Enduro 1, the 2012 champion Antoine Mayo remains as one of the favourites to be crowned again, but to be the fastest will not be enough. This year we are back for a new season. I have a new bike with a new engine and a new chassis, so I haven't been able to race or train with it. I have a little bit of doubt about it, but I think everything should go well. Siesta should be really fast during the South American Tour, as will Cristobal Guerrero. But the main opponent of Mayo will be Juha Salminen, who is back in E1. The 8-time world champion believes this is the category to be in this season. In the junior category, it'll be interesting to follow who will be the one amongst those young guns. Will 2013 be for Italians, with the boys like Jonathan Manzi or Youth Cup champion Giacomo Redondi? Hopes, however, could be shattered by the rising star Matthew Phillips. Let's go for the first day of the 2013 competition. Saturday will be the first round, Sunday the second. It means that there's an opportunity to score big points if possible for those who are fast out of the blocks. The weather, a beautiful sunny day. The Chilean tracks are known by most competitors, but it doesn't mean that it'll be easy. The programme is 3 laps of 58 kilometres. The riders will spend about 6.5 hours on their bikes. The main issue for the riders comes from the nature of the ground, the most slippery they've ever met. With dust on the top, you have a really tough enduro race. The difficulty all week long will be to find the grip and not be fooled by that dust. A typical day of EWC is divided into 3 different kinds of stages: the cross test, the speed, the enduro test for improvisation, and the extreme test, which is by far the most technical. Let's start the day with the small category for bikes of 125cc 2-stroke or the 254 strokes. Thomas Aldrati is one of the fastest riders in this category, but unfortunately he had some major difficulties in the 3rd stages, but only managed to finish in 9th position of day 1. Cristobal Guerrero is suffering from a shoulder injury and riding in pain all day. He could only finish 8th, ahead of Aldrati. Nicolas de Pourvois is in the top 5. Really relaxed in the cross test, the Frenchman managed to improve his position throughout the afternoon, and the Yamaha rider starts the season with a good result. Jeremy Joly is another good surprise of the day. In one of the enduro tests, he crashes, losing 13 seconds, but he would fight with Siesta until the end. And indeed, it would be the Finn who took the final podium position. He certainly does not want a repeat of 2012, where he did not have a good start to the championship and therefore never caught up. 3rd was spot on. Juha Salminen knows that he needs another championship win by the end of this year. With Anton Mayo making few mistakes at the start of the day, Juha managed to maintain the pressure all day long. In the cross test, Salminen had an issue with the Husqvarna and therefore had to give up his win. That meant he handed it to reigning champion Antoine Mayo, who certainly did still have a difficult day. The big advantage for him was that he was first on the road. Even if he had to clean up the line, he didn't suffer from any kind of dust and therefore could attack. Like many others, he made a few errors, but his speed was good enough to score maximum points for the first time in 2013. So it would be Mayo, Salminen and Siestala. It's now time for E2 to hit the track. The Chilean riders, the Israel brothers, have been really celebrated by the fans. The crowd was supporting them all the way through. Both brothers finished in the top 15, 12th for Vincent, 14th for Benjamin. In the top 5, the big boys of the category were all where they were expected to be. P5 was David Knight aboard his Honda. He looks much more comfortable on the bike than his disastrous 2012 campaign. With a bit more experience and adjustments, perhaps we get the old Knighter back and back on the podium. Cervantes is back with KTM and his confidence was at peak as well. But the Spanish rider had to fight with a very strong Alex Salvini and eventually lost out, finishing in 4th position. It was Salvini who prevented Cervantes from mounting the podium, proving that maybe 2013 could be the year for the Italian. It wasn't a trouble-free run in the morning. He stalled in the Enduro test, but was fastest in the final extreme test to take 3rd. This man is in really good shape. Johnny Aubert admits that his winter preparation has been really optimised and his body is paying him back right now. In the fight for the lead all day long, Aubert only struggled in the last Enduro test and extreme test, but this is far better than 12 months ago. E2 to end the day. The 2012 E2 World Champion had a hard morning. First, needing to close the gap from a very slow run in the super test on the Friday night. After that, he had Aubert swapping wins with him throughout the day. But he managed to lead round 1 and in the end won the race by just 4 seconds. Husqvarna's first rider in E2 to take victory. For the first stage I saw that I was fast and that gave me a lot of confidence. Johnny was in the lead and I was getting closer than he was, pushing a little bit. In the end I won after a great fight and I'm very, very happy about that. So Pele picking up from where he left off last year. The big bikes are now at work. Luis Correa is P5 of day 1. It's such a great result to start the season. Luis proves that he maybe can want to be the big surprises of 2013. He had to fight with Marcus Kerr for that 5th position, however. Rodrigue Tin is a rookie in the E3 category and a newcomer with Gas. And maybe slightly inexperienced with his bike, leading to a crash in the Enduro test in the morning. But feeling confident, Rodrigue will be faster in the afternoon and the next day. He was P4, Elgar Lioc was P3. He's been carrying an injury throughout the winter and despite a sore back, the Estonian managed to keep up pace with the rest of the rivals. Remember how good he was in Argentina and Chile in 2012. World champion Naumatin is the favourite for the category and he proved it all day long despite having some troubles with his engine. By the end of the morning, he had a gap close to 20 seconds, but unfortunately, in the early afternoon, the Frenchman suffered a massive crash and was happy enough just to be able to ride on and get to the finish. The KTM star amazingly ending the day in 2nd on the podium. But that mistake by the 2012 champion doesn't decrease the level of performance of the young Swede Joachim Lundgren, who takes his first win in the E3 category. With the right pace all day long, Lundgren managed to avoid all the tricks of the Chilean tracks to be another Husqvarna winner by just 5 seconds.
Yeah, I'm very, very happy. It feels unreal because Yeah, it was many years ago since I win a race. It was the last time in Sweden, in Östersund, in the snow. So yeah, it feels so good, the start of the season, and to beat Nambutin is so nice.
A historic victory then for Joachim Lundgren. So strong in day one, what happened to Elgar Liuk to find himself in such a delicate situation on day two? The Sherco team had some bad news when they arrived in Talca. Fabien Planet's bike was stuck at the customs zone during the transfer to Chile, and the bike wasn't able to be delivered on time for Fabien to go through the technical controls. He was able to take the start, but with a massive time penalty. Therefore, starting on Saturday with more than a minute and a half of delay, Planet finished the day in honourable 12th position. Without the penalty, he would have been 5th. Racing in Talca was a great opportunity for all the national and amateur Chilean riders to show the fans of Enduro what they were made of. Unfortunately though, the difficult track made some of them suffer on a few occasions. In the Youth Cup, Benjamin Herrera dominated all weekend long, winning both days, and naturally he now leads the championship. I'm very, very happy. I've won both days, and of course that makes me happy. I must thank the people that made this possible. I tried to keep cool, the track was very hard, and it was so easy to make a mistake. But I'm happy that I've done the best time and everything worked. And now, what everyone's been waiting for, the EWC Harlem Shake. Get online and make it buzz.
And do the Harlem Shake.
This is the second round of the Enduro World Championship in Talca, Chile. The Sunday is warmer than the day before, and that means the tracks will be drier than ever. Driving through the streets of Talca on an Enduro bike is a privilege offered to the riders. It's a great and warm atmosphere at the start of the day. Chilean fans love it. The competitors have a long day ahead of them. Slipperier surface, grip harder to find. This day could be a trap, and maybe some big surprises could appear. Guerrero's soreness in the collarbone is still hard for him to bear. The Spanish rider did what he could to keep the pace with the best riders, but in the end, the KTM star did have to retire. Juha Salminen was also in trouble. The Finn really struggling to find grip, and he made some really costly errors in the last Enduro test to end the day just 5th overall. Immediately in a good rhythm on the second day, Matti Siestala had to fight hard to keep his goal possible, being competitive from the start of the year. A crash on the 7th special meant a finish in 4th position was all that he could manage. Only 7th on day 1, Eero Remes pushed all day long and tried to be very consistent to reach the podium. The mistakes made by Salminen Siestala were a great help for him, and he did grab that 3rd spot. Thomas Aldrati, the Husseberg factory rider, had been in danger all day. A very strong performance and a win in the Enduro test, he managed to break up into the top 5 after a quiet day on day 1. E1 is sure to be tight this year. Beating him, Antoine Mayo, the boss of the E1 category. When his opponents put a knee on the ground, Antoine flies over all the major difficulties. The gap he had on Aldrati was enough for him to score the perfect weekend. I'm really happy. It's a good deal for the championship. Aldrati and Remez finished behind me, so I have gained lots of points on Juha. Mayo, a perfect 40, ahead of Salmonen and Siesela, sharing 2nd and 3rd, Aldrati and Remez in 5th position. After a few adjustments on the bike, David Knight was in really good shape in the extreme test with the 2 best times. But on other specials, he was let down and he could only manage 5th on this 2nd day. The 2012 champion Pele crashed in the first stage of the day, and a win in the 2nd cross test was not enough for the Huskeberg boy to repeat his success from Saturday. P4 was all he could manage. 2013 is said to be his last season, and Aubert is more motivated than ever. Like Rene, he did crash early on stage 1 and had to fight that deficit all the way through the day, but he managed to pick up P3, beaten by Ivan Cervantes. He returned, of course, to the KTM factory team and loving it, loving the handling of the bike, the goal to leave Chile with a maximum amount of points possible, and that's exactly what he's done. He's going to be very dangerous come Argentina. But there's no better way to finish a weekend than with a win, a first time for Enduro 2. This is what Salvini did. With a great rhythm from the start of the day, the Italian was very pleased with his new package. Very fast in the Enduro test, he dominated, and the smile on his face is real. I'm very happy. The first victory in E2, the first victory in Enduro. Today was a hard day, a sprint for the first to the last special. I was quick, I just made a mistake that lost me maybe 15 seconds, but I could push on that last lap to get this first win. Yesterday I was fast but made too many mistakes. This is a good start to the championship. Yes it is, we have a new star on the top of the podium, and on the top of the general standings, 2 points ahead of Pele, Johnny Aubert in 3rd, Cervantes and Knight, Mena, Guerrero, Santolino. The place is full of very competitive riders. Elgar Liuk had a very bad day, tired and suffering in the last Enduro test. He finished a hugely disappointing 11th place. Pressure on his shoulders to try and chase down the leaders. Argentina is going to be important for him, especially as he rode so well last year. The 2012 E1 runner-up adapted well to the E3 category. Rodrigue Tin is a rider of experience, and he said he would push for this last day. Finishing in the top 3 proves that he could be someone to follow in 2013. Winner of the first day, the Husseberg factory rider, is definitely one of the major favourites for the crown this season. Lundgren had good preparation in Spain, and that helped him a lot. And this Chilean round has meant that the 2nd position has put him co-leader in the championship challenge. Without a crash, Christophe Namatau is back to his old habits. His injury in the winter had disturbed his preparation, and perhaps Namatau is not the dominator that he was in 2012. But a win today was many reasons to be cheerful. Christophe will have to raise his game though.
Joachim a très bien roulé, il a été
Joachim rode really well, and he's been very fast. He's been very consistent all day, and I personally had 2 very bad stages that penalised me a lot. I had to fight to the end to get this first victory. But he did. Namatau on the top step of the podium, and on the top step of the standings alongside Lundgren, 37 each. Tin already dropping 9 points to those 2. It's going to be in between those for the championship. In the junior class, this is the end of an era. The 2012 champion Matthias Bellino is gone. Some new challengers are in place. Matthew Phillips is one of them. Official rider for the Husqvarna team, the Australian had a really good start to the season. 5th on day 1 and P3 on day 2. Many riders performed well though. Robert Kvarnström, Mario Roma and Lorik Lorry, but none of them were able to reach the level of this man, Giacomo Redondi, a double victor. I am very happy with these 2 days in Chile. I managed to win both, and I love my new bike. I must thank the team, Ferroli, that gave me this bike. I love it a lot. After a very interesting first round in Chile, the South American Tour will continue with a stop in San Juan, Argentina in just 7 days' time. Will Mayo still lead E1? E2 will a favourite arise amongst the challengers, and will Namatan take advantage over Lundgren? We'll see you very soon for the second round of the Enduro World Championship 2013.